Hey, I'm Eden Michael.
And I'm Bini&Eden.
And we're the B family. So on today's episode, we're going to be talking about the best investment you can make in Uganda. So please stay tuned. And while you're at it, click the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to follow us.
So when everybody speaks about investments in Uganda, one of the main things that come to their mind is real estate, such as land, hotels, or Airbnbs, or things like coffee and tourism. But honestly, none of those things matter without one important thing, and that's the Ugandan people. So the answer to the question is, the most important and most profitable thing you can do as a foreigner to invest in Uganda is to invest in the Ugandan people and invest in the right team when you arrive here in the country.
So when you say investing in the people, what does that look like? What does that mean exactly?
So let me speak about my experience. I've touched on, for example, on Expat Assist, the company that helped us resettle in this country. And the people that run that company, people like Tina, people like Ian. Building that relationship was key in helping me navigate the legal hurdles, the laws of the countries, moving around the countries, figure out where I wanted to settle and what industry I wanted to get into. So first and foremost, you need to connect with the right consultants, with the right individuals that are going to help you navigate the legalities of the country. Everything may be available on Google, but it's a different story when you get on the ground. Number two, you're going to need help on your everyday life. We came in there with a family. We needed people helping us with setting up our home. We needed people helping us with building our home. And those homes cannot be built. Those homes cannot be taken care of without our team. And a lot of times, it goes down to making sure that you're paying a fair wage. And a fair wage, a lot of times, does not mean what is the country's average. If you pay what's the country average demands, you're going to get the average. You need to go above and beyond yourself first before you can expect people to go above and beyond for yourself, for you. For example, I needed a driver. When I spoke to most people, the average payments were closer to the 400 to 500,000 shillings. And although that was the country average, let's be real, I didn't think that was a living wage for what Kampala's rent prices are, what I was demanding on my team. I was ripping and running from morning into the evening, and there was plenty of people willing to work for those wages. But the reality is I needed somebody outstanding, not just somebody navigating through the country, but it's going to help me navigate me through my everyday life, through the population. And I'll name them out and give them a shout out to a couple of the drivers that have been with me and are still with me. That's Abdul, that's Sam, and their salaries range into 1.2 million shillings. When I speak to those people closest to me, they tell me I'm crazy, I'm overpaying. But it shows in their work ethic, it shows in how they look after me, how they look after my vehicle, how they look after my home and my family. It goes down to the people that take care of our children. You know, we pay regularly over 1 million shillings. And I'm not saying you need to do that across the board in everything you do, but you need to be very realistic in what an investment looks like. If you're not willing to invest in people that take care of your children, if you're not willing to invest into someone who is essentially going to be taking care of you, babysitting you all around this country, you need to think twice about buying that land, because once that land comes, it's going to disappear quick. No one will be there to protect you. You will need that protection. You will need that buffer. And no, your European friends is not going to do it. The American embassy is too busy doing their American embassy issues. You need a Ugandan partner. And those partners are your employees. They're not just employees. They're not just wages. And beyond the wage conversation, you need to think about their health care. Invest in their health care. When an employee gets sick, it is your responsibility. It is my responsibility to take care of that employee to make sure that he's feeling better. Because let me tell you something. If you're paying someone, let's say what is the country average, 500,000-600,000 shillings, and they go to the hospital, they're going to be charged at 100,000, 200,000 shillings. That's another 20% of their income. How are they going to live with the rest of that income? When you think about your employee, think about the transportation that they have to pay. We live in Kampala in the middle of the city. Most of our staff does not have the luxury to afford the middle of the city. They're coming off from further out of town. Think about their transportation. That has to be outside of their salary. Think about their education and the education of their children. If a person is worrying about all these things, they cannot perform at their best. And you want people at their best. And when they feel secure in their health care, they feel secure in their shelter, they feel secure in the way that you treat them with dignity and respect, they will perform the best. And when we talk about dignity and respect, that also involves money. It's giving someone a dignified salary, a dignified wage, and a dignified way of working is a sole responsibility of that person that's trying to be an investor in this nation. So when you come into this country, think about that. Think about whatever industry you're going to get in there and do. And you need to understand that it is not just your responsibility, it is your duty in order to succeed. If you want to succeed, because success comes with a price. And that price means working in collaboration with the locals and making sure you choose the best employees. And when you choose the best employees, you do have to pay the best wages and create the environment that will hopefully create a collaborative work environment. You're not a boss. You're hiring a coworker, a team member. Build a team. Invest in your team. Believe in your team. Invest in their education. We took the opportunity of investing in classrooms. We hired a teacher because some of our Ugandan employees did not know how to read or write. Well, that's not their fault. It is our responsibility, if we expect them to learn how to read and write, to have a teacher available to them. Now, you don't have to go all that way, but for us it was necessary. We're entering the tourism industry where they're going to be navigating different populations coming in the countries, and they needed to speak better. Invest in their self-confidence. And when they're more confident, they're better set to protect you, to represent you, and trust me, you will not regret it, because I haven't regretted it. My wife doesn't regret it. You won't have the attrition. They will look after your interests. They will protect your assets. But in order for them to do that, you first and foremost have to invest in them.
Okay, so you touched on salary and making it a living wage as opposed to a country standard wage. How else can a foreigner support their employees when they come? If they want to grow their business or their household even, how should foreigners be navigating in the work field with their Ugandan employees?
In my experience, mentorship goes a long way. Sharing what you've learned, that's what collaboration is all about. It's not always just about money. Some of the greatest investment you can make is taking the time to actually sit down with the people that you're working with, no matter who they are, and really teaching them not only about yourself, about your background, but teaching them about how you operate. Because it's not common knowledge, as you would say it. We're so used to being trained in the United States that this is the way we do things. We need to learn the Ugandan way of doing things. What we perceive as the wrong way, quote unquote, is not the wrong way. It's the Ugandan way. And the quicker you become a little bit more humble, a little bit more open to being educated yourself, that is an investment, because you're giving your time to listen out to people that normally are not heard. They're just barked orders at, and if you would calm down and just take the time to learn who these people are, where they come from, what challenges they face, then they'll be more willing to kind of listen to you and see what you're going through and how they can help you. And they'll be giving you the suggestions, and a lot of the problems you're facing, they actually can fix them for you just by you speaking out and telling them the truth. That was my experience in the workforce, predominantly when I first got there. I don't know if you want to go ahead and touch up on what was your experience as far as the house and education and all that?
Well, yeah, no, I definitely feel like it was a different culture, a different way of doing things. So I think when I first came, like you said, coming from the States, you're constantly go, go, go. I mean, you get a 20, 30-minute break to eat your lunch in the car, and you're still running. I learned how to chew fast because of life in America. But I think when I first came, it was a different pace of life. Like, things were slowed down. And for me, that was hard to kind of navigate, because I'm like, yo, we're on a time crunch. We have to go, go, go. And I bumped heads a lot of times. But I think once I was able to calm myself and realize that the work is still going to get done, I just had to be able to calm myself. I was able to communicate better. And with the staff that I was kind of working with, it did take a lot of conversation. Another thing is also, I feel like my Ugandan staff was a little intimidated to speak out to me, so it was always a lot of like hush hush and quiet, and I kind of had to break that barrier. I had to be like, yo, listen, I'm not here to crush you. You are my coworker. You work with me. You don't work for me. And I think showing my employees that level of respect, that whatever you need to say, you can say it. There is no wrong answer. Let's keep an open communication. It really built a solid and strong relationship between me and my employees, because now they tell me all the time, like my nanny, for instance, will tell me, like, I can talk to you like a sister and explain things to you, and you don't get upset. She told me a story one time, and she was like, I've broken a cup before in a household, and the person that was employing her wanted to kill her, and how it was such a bad thing that she did. And I kind of had to like ease that out of her and be like, yo, no, mistakes happen, things break. That's not important. It's just being honest and being like, hey, this piece of item broke, just to give you a heads up. I'm okay with that. So I think there was a lot of communication barriers that I had to learn myself, for me, and I also had to be able to explain that, yo, these are okay things to do. And so I think it goes back to the respect for your employees. I think coming as an employer from a country that you kind of have the same expectations of each other in the States or Europe or the rest of Africa, wherever you're from, you have a certain expectation of each other as you do for yourself. But when you come to a different country, those expectations are different, and you have to be able to mold with us. So I think showing your employees respect first and foremost is the main, after a livable wage, obviously, but like showing respect, you can expect respect. And I think that was a big thing for me that I learned being in Uganda. And like I said, from that, I've been able to create relationships that have gone beyond the employment. They go beyond madam, boss, and the person that works for her. It's become more of a family type setting for us. So that brings us to the end of our video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. Really just overall, your employees, your staff, the people you're surrounded by, take care of them. They will take care of you. That's everywhere, really, but especially here with this young, energetic population in Uganda. We'll be sharing more ideas on businesses that you can invest in Uganda, ranging from agriculture to real estate and everything in between. So please stay tuned. Click the like and subscribe button so you can stay in the loop with all the videos that we put out. We hope you enjoyed. Please comment and like, subscribe.